Ready or Not is a realistic shooter game set in the fictional American city of Los Sueños. You play as a SWAT operator in the police department of said fictional city called the LSPD. And the game consists of missions that the SWAT team is sent on in order to achieve certain objectives per mission. These objectives almost always include two main objectives, which are save the civilians and bring order to chaos. The second one especially is achieved in one of two ways, either by arresting the suspects through disarming them by non-lethal means, so think flashbangs, gas grenades, and things of that nature, or by straight up liquidating them if they raise their weapon on you or on your team. So in the base game, there are 18 missions if you play it on Commander mode, which I guess is the main single player mode of the game, and these 18 missions have you swatting a diverse range of environments and groups of people. Sometimes it's a response to a terrorist attack, or a school shooter.
Ready to go.
Entry team, this is Talk. Send them our way.
Talk. Got a suspect down here.
Talk the lead.
And other times you're breaching a house or a farm or a ranch to arrest some PDF file adult filmmakers or Twitch streamers who happen to be PDF files or like cult members. The point being, you get down and you do good in the game by any moral standard. And my personal reaction to the context of these missions has been rather chill. These missions feature things that are inspired from real-life events that happened in the US. So for example, in the mission Neon Tomb, you raid a nightclub that has been taken over by a terrorist group called The Hand, because the US bombed them in Yemen and they have taken over this nightclub as some sort of retaliation. In this mission, you arrive a bit too late. The terrorists had already taken over the nightclub, and walking through the mission you see people executed everywhere, phones ringing, and hear people scream in pain. This mission takes inspiration from a real terrorist attack in 2016. The attack was perpetrated by a guy called Omar Mateen, a guy born in the US who pledged allegiance to the leader of ISIS, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, according to a 911 call he made shortly after the shooting began. In this shooting, he took the lives of 49 people and wounded 53 people, while claiming he did that because of the US attacks in Iraq and Syria. The second mission that I would like to mention here is called The Elephant. This mission takes place in a fictional community college called Watt Community College, where multiple suspects shot up the college, planted bombs, and have taken hostages that they execute throughout the mission.
They just killed a hostage.
It's also, as you've probably guessed, inspired by the Columbine High School massacre in 1999, where two students shot up their high school and attempted to blow it up, but fortunately failed. However, in the process, they took the lives of 13 students, one teacher, and injured 20 people. The missions Neon Tomb and Elephant, and especially Elephant, have sparked, rightfully so, some real controversies among the players. Especially at the announcement of Elephant, the school shooter level, some people viewed the level as disrespectful to the victims of school shootings to be portrayed as nothing more than pixels on a screen in a video game, thus leading to a familiarity with the topic and an eventual desensitization to it. Others instead retaliated by stating that video games are forms of art, and therefore, if they pay enough respect to how school shootings are portrayed, they can depict them just fine. And it's honestly a level of sensitivity and emotionally mature discussion of art that surprised me at first glance, especially when it comes from Americans of all people. And you might be able to see a pattern here, and it's that Ready or Not does not always shy away from portraying real-life terrorist attacks, and when it does, it portrays them in a very respectable manner in my opinion. It's very realistic, harsh, and raw. The missions might give you nightmares because of how realistic they feel. For example, before any mission you get a briefing, and often you would listen to audio material regarding the mission. This audio material is usually a 911 call, or a call with some informant to give you some information about the mission. And the 911 calls especially are usually horrifying and haunting. Sometimes the caller dies while they are on the call, or they manage to escape, or they uncontrollably sob in panic. It's very gruesome.
911, this call is being recorded. What is your emergency? Hello? This is 911. What is your emergency?
Help us!
Ma'am, is everything all right? Can you tell me your name?
Oh God, they're shooting everybody! Run! Run! Over here! Over here!
Ma'am? Are you there? Ma'am?
Hi! Shit! Oh my God! Yes! Help us! You need know, the nightclub. Oh shit, they're coming this way. Stop, stay away!
And during the mission itself, you get horrifying details of blood being everywhere and the barricaded doors, the bodies, the phones ringing, and the anxiety built up by the game's mechanics and seriousness to tell you that it takes all of this seriously. The pure harshness of it all, how real it feels, contributes to the emotional weight of these missions and others. These people feel like real people, through the sound design, through the environmental storytelling that leaves a lot to the imagination as to what happened here, and through the constant state of danger that you feel you're in throughout these levels. So why do we not hear all of that smart game analysis diving into the societal impact of video games when it comes to other shooter games? Why is it that Call of Duty can portray the Iraq War all at once? You can massacre as many Arabs as you want in that game and no questions asked, while portraying Western soldiers as actually the good guys. Meanwhile, these games are completely apathetic to what's happening to the Iraqis and what they had to endure during these wars. Why is it that we do not see that same level of accountability regarding games portraying modern tragic events inside of the US or the West versus outside of these regions? Because up until this point, up until I knew about the controversy regarding Elephant, I had just assumed that the average American gamer is completely apathetic. But it turns out some of them can empathize and actively engage with the media they consume, but only when it concerns other Americans. No wonder this country is paying for this century's Holocaust as kids and civilians are being burned alive in Gaza. The American people only care about what's happening inside America. So no wonder the US was flattening cities in Vietnam and killing 1 million people in Iraq, and no wonder that games portraying these events are rarely if ever filtered through a critical lens, unlike games like Ready or Not. There is only one explanation for this, and it is hypocrisy. If you're mad about the game that portrayed a school shooting in which 14 Americans were killed, but you're not mad at a game that portrayed a war in which 1 million Iraqis were killed, then you are a hypocrite. Despite Ready or Not treating the subject matter with the utmost amount of respect, and games like Battlefield don't even bother spelling the fucking Arabic correctly on their signs, let alone allowing you to feel like a hero while killing random Arabs, while not letting you empathize with the victims and not taking the subject matter seriously at all. From all of this, and as an Arab guy, I can just simply conclude that this is nothing more than hypocrisy. And at the end, I would just like to leave you with one simple video. This video is from a talk by Egyptian Dutch game developer Rami Ismail, in which he taught random non-Arabic speakers how to read Arabic in about 15 minutes so that they can spot out the glaring mistake made by a very huge game developer regarding Arabic in their game. I really urge you to watch this, and yeah, thanks for watching.
So step 3. Let's see an image from a popular video game. And I want you to tell me what it says in Arabic. It's up there at the top. What does the building say? Let me take it out of the image because it's kind of unclear. Okay, let me connect the letters. Kadunf. Kadunf doesn't really mean anything. Like, they just put a piece of gibberish on like a big set piece in a video game. Is that really what happened? Let me try pulling the letters apart again for you. Q, D, N, F. Does anybody see the problem here? Can you read that for me? $100 million is reportedly the budget for this video game. 100 million. And they could not spare the, what, $100 it would have gotten to pick somebody random from the street to check if the big fucking sign on their hotel was right? $100 million. This is a game in which a giant part of the budget went into making sure that you can shoot my people in hyper-realistic fashion, and that they fall over nice, and that the explosions look nice. Kadunf. $100 million, and they didn't even check. It took me, what, 30 minutes? 30 minutes to make you figure out why this was wrong. This isn't just a translation error. This is a gross disrespect towards an entire culture, towards an entire people that speaks a language. $100 million, and nobody spent $1 on making sure Kadunf wasn't on the building. And this game isn't a lone example. Pretty much every single large video game nowadays gets it wrong. Watch the previous E3, one of the largest trade shows in the games industry. Wrong. Every single time I saw Arabic. Either the words were from left to right, the characters were from left to right, or the words just didn't actually mean anything. Sometimes they wanted to write children's toy factory, and they would write children's factory. And that can happen. This is 2015, that can happen. They get the cursive script wrong, they get the voice acting wrong, they get the wrong language. You know, they don't actually speak Arabic in all parts of the Middle East. Some places they actually don't.